Hi, this is Bishop Manigault. Welcome to Bishop's Corner. Thank you for being with me today. So happy to have you stop by. Wanted to share a quick word from the book of Ezra under the thought Rise and Build. If you recall, the book of Ezra recounts the efforts of the Jewish exiles who were in captivity now by the Persians to be able to come back to Jerusalem, rebuild Jerusalem and the place of worship for their God. And if you check out the first few chapters of the book of Ezra, you see that King Cyrus issues an edict authorizing them to go back home, to begin to do the work, to live there, to build, and to worship God according to the dictates of their conscience. Not only does he give them permission to leave and rebuild, but he also gives them provisions to accomplish the work. Notice that when God ordains a thing, he always gives provision for the vision, and he also gives the materials needed to accomplish the mission. My brothers and sisters, I believe as we prepare to come out of the exile that we have been subject to, I believe we also have been empowered to return to the Jerusalem of our day so that we could live, rebuild, and also begin to worship our God according to the dictates of our conscience. I also believe that we have been commissioned by God to rebuild the place of reverence and respect for the ways of the Lord. Yes, I understand Jerusalem is a place in the Middle East, but it is also symbolic of a people who are called by his name, a holy nation, and a royal priesthood. For us, Jerusalem is not just a place in the Middle East. In fact, it represents the place where God is worshiped, the place where his word is proclaimed, and the place where his truth is upheld. Where God is worshiped, where his word is proclaimed, and his truth is upheld, that place becomes a place of safety, security, and salvation to all people. So, my brothers and sisters, we, the people of God, who have been commissioned by him, we have been come to this place at this time in our society to build. We need to rise and build and begin the very difficult task of building a place for God in the hearts and the minds of men and women. This is done by the preaching and the teaching of the gospel. We are commissioned to go into the entire world to preach, teach, and make disciples. This is the time to rise and to build. We who were once captive by a powerful enemy have now been set free to return to our God and rise and build. Not only did God permit the Jewish exiles to return, as I said, but he also gave them what they needed to do the work. So I am believing the God who loved them loves me as well in the same manner. And that not only will we be permitted to go back to be able to worship and glorify him in the manner that he's absolutely due, I believe he also will provide for us the means to accomplish our mission. Now, some people may feel like we don't really have enough to do that. Some people feel that what we have is not significant to the task. Truth of the matter that it is not. But I'm reminded of the words of the song that little becomes much when you place it in the master's hand. What you have may not be much, but when you yield it to the touch of the master's loving hand, then you will understand that your life will never be the same. So I am asking for you, and I'm calling upon all the people of God to don't look to what's in your hands, but look to whose hands are to the God in whose hands our life is actually in. You see, it's not about how much time, how much talent, how much money, how much strength that we have. It is about how much of that time, talent, money, strength that we have that we're willing to give or yield into the hands of the Lord. And it's what we're willing to yield to him that will ultimately make the difference between success and failure and what we rise and build. One last thing, when the people went back to rebuild, they offered freely what they had. And that's what I'm asking that you would do. Offer freely what you have. And by that, I don't mean your money. I mean you. Give God freely who you are. Give God freely of your time. Give God freely of those gifts that he has already given you. Each of us should give of ourselves according to the ability that God has given us. Let's not worry about what others are doing. Let's focus on what we should do for God. And if we would do that, I believe the work of God will be done. So you see, our God can do with the collective effort of the few what can never be accomplished with the collective effort of the many. Because our God just takes two or three gathered in his name, and him be in the midst, and the work will be accomplished. So let us arise, let us build, let us preach, let us teach the gospel to all who would hear. We are the people who've been called out of darkness into the marvelous light. We are the people of the return. So let us return, let us rise, and let us build. Well, my time is up, and I do thank you for yours. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I pray that God will be with you. May heaven smile upon you. Until next time, God bless.